shape. So I eat many vegetables.
You want to show us your knuckle tattoos for this video?
You can tell.
Love.
It says love and labor. The L's over there and a hammer and sickle.
Well, I'm not him.
And he is not the one for me.
You're not her.
This bullshit amateur I see.
Caught you on your phone. Now we don't call at all. Well, I'm not him.
And he is not the one for me.
And you're not her.
This bullshit amateur I see.
Caught you on your phone. Now we don't call. Built this boat down, now what calls me?
Now I'm shook you up.
Bridges are built on now, who walls around me?
Hard to break that down.
I'm all dressed out now, now what calls me?
Got nowhere to go.
I realize I built up all my being.
Now I don't wanna leave.
I built this boat now, now what calls me?
Now I'm shook you up.
Bridges I built on now, who walls around me?
Hard to break that
I'm
down.
all dressed out now, now what calls me?
Got nowhere to go.
I realize I built up all my being.
Now I don't wanna leave. I built this boat, now no one calls me. Bridges I built on now don't walk around me. I'm on this boat, now no one calls me. I realize I built all my feet and
I think this is the first thing I've ever done besides a dinner party that started on time. Seriously, the only thing. Shows, buffets, you know, any crazy. Something about you guys.
Become branded as this liberal elite thing, and I can see why, because it's very tied in with the environmental movement, but I also think it's a shame that it has to be that way. Now you've got like the latte liberal and the limousine liberal and the Le Mans liberal, and I look at bicycling economically and I see a very strong conservative case for cycling. I also see a very strong liberal case for cycling.
So I've been working on this documentary since 2008 about the last 40 years of cycling in Portland.
So we free crackers. One of these is mint water, the other one is normal water. And here we have the other potato salad. This has pasilla and jalapenos, a chili dressing. It's honeydew melon and mushroom curry with mint. So melon doesn't have to be sweet. You got a Bunsen burner in there, a beaker, and just high oxygen.
That's what I do in my spare time.
But this guy here put these out for me. So we have cauliflower with sesame seeds, garlic, and Italian parsley, and a regular tahini dressing. Normally I would fry the shit out of this, so you're going to get a much fresher version of it. I have two cookbooks, which Joe is selling over there. This is the Vegan Adventure Story. He's looking for the ultimate recipe. It's called In Search of a Lost Taste. This is all raw stuff. And I'm using the dehydrator called So Raw. It's downright filthy. My latest zine. And you should probably have a sense of humor if you're going to get this one.
Serve yourselves some delicious food and then we'll resume once we're all settled back in. I took this in Spokane, Washington last year on tour. This is a pretty big street. It's like 6 lanes, signed for 35 miles an hour, but nobody goes that slowly. The speed that people drive does not depend on the speed limit or even on driver behavior or training. It depends on how the road is designed. Can anyone tell me what's wrong with this picture? No,
Person is walking in the grass.
2 digits.
There's no sidewalk yet. There's room for two. Whoever made the sign is not an optimist. When you look at this picture from an economic perspective, traffic fatalities are actually hugely expensive to society. They're a major economic cost. Each federal agency is asked to value the cost of a human life, and the US DOT values it at $6 or $7 million. Yeah. Joe went further and looked up how much it would cost to put in a sidewalk on this street, and it would be $60 or $70 a foot, so that would be about 10 blocks for that, the same cost of having one crash. We do know for sure that when you have active pedestrian and bicycle and complete streets, we know that that becomes safer not just for people walking and biking, but for everybody on the road. When you have anything that slows down traffic and makes people be more aware of their surroundings, that increases safety. As I'm asking those questions, these are still questions that are being asked around the nation. Should cyclists pay a road tax? Anyone?
We already do.
We already do. You all know what you're talking about here. So if you pay taxes of any kind, income, sales, property, you are paying for the road system. And the contrast of how much cyclists pay is pretty stark, how much we overpay. So on average, every person who rides a bike instead of driving a car is putting about $250 extra above their cost to the road system. They're paying in their fees and taxes. They're overpaying by $250 a year. Cars, on the other hand, when you drive a car, kind of an average amount, an average car, you are actually underpaying by about $3,000 a year. There have been more and more studies finding this, that when you have bike parking in front of a business, that business's revenue goes way up. That's not true of all businesses. Like, I don't think it's true of gas stations, furniture stores, big box stores in the suburbs, but that's true of centralized downtown businesses on central streets. So in economics, you talk a lot about supply and demand, and the kind of classic way of thinking about building roads and building transportation infrastructure is like, you wait and you see what people want, and then you build capacity for them, and then if more people want something, you build more of it to make up for that demand. In the concept of induced demand takes the opposite approach, and this is the approach based on the reality of what has happened after 60 years of building roads that way. It's basically, if you build it, they will come. Baseball players, cars come and populate them. It's not just that people want to drive, it's that when you build a freeway, you're creating all these opportunities to drive. That's from real estate, off the freeway, maybe you're creating new on-ramps, maybe you're just making the drive faster and making it seem more possible and more feasible to live a little bit further out or to work a little bit further out. And suddenly you have congestion again, and people who have built their lives around this freeway are rightfully upset and want more lanes and ask for them and get them. And that induces more demand. So the other thing about induced demand, though, is when you take away lanes, or even when you take away entire freeways, that actually reduces traffic, car traffic, and speeds it up. When you take out a lane, when you put a road on a road diet, like if that road in Spokane had bike lanes and maybe, you know, an extra wide sidewalk and some bulb outs and some distracting things, that would make traffic flow more smoothly down that road. Just mathematically, if people are going slower, they'll flow more smoothly, especially through the intersections and stoplights, than if they're always having to speed up and stop, merge, stop.
But I feel like you might get lost. Really sold out.
Yeah, it's good.
Do a lot of breakdown on parts here.
This feels like Bike Palace.
This is kind of the sorting area donated. Usually they only have something minor wrong, like a bolt missing.
It's broken, we must give it away.
My daughter got a Jeep toddler bike, about the size of this purple one there.
I'm stuck.
Stuck.
I'll park
I like the child seat on this one.
The other thing about induced demand that really should be kept in mind is that it works for bikes also. When you build bike infrastructure, more people come and ride bikes on it. That's been shown to happen.
This way. Over here,